All right. Okay. Mina.
I call this meeting order at 6:03. Okay, so first I'll hand it over to Sonia, Sonia for roll call.
Okay, I actually don't have my notes with me tonight.
Okay.
The one thing I didn't prepare. Commissioner.
Present.
Commissioner Tan.
Present.
Commissioner.
Present.
Commissioner Musbari.
Present.
Commissioner Chen.
Present.
Commissioner Mukherjee.
Present.
Commissioner Kumar. Commissioner Gupta.
Present.
Okay, Ashley, that's actually nice if you guys can all. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is the presentation on Disco at Dusk. And the recommended action is to receive a presentation on Disco at Dusk from Recreation Manager Alex Greer.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Sonia, the flyer I see is Techie Teen.
You want a sec here?
Okay.
Did you- Let's- Okay. Let's see if I can.
So as you can see, our beautifully colored flyer for the Disco at Dusk event, it is Barbie themed this year. We are so essentially, if you don't know what this event is, Disco at Dusk is an evening filled with music, dancing, and activities for all ages as the sun sets. It's Friday, June 21st from 6:30 to 8:30 at Community Hall. The address you see there, so it's right in the Civic Center Plaza near the library and City Hall. And everyone in attendance will get their own pair of wireless headphones, and that each have 3 different channels playing different types of music. And then the color of your headphones will indicate what channel you're listening to. So if you see someone else with the same color as you, then you know that you're listening to the same song. And each different station, each different color will be a different genre of music, whether it's pop or oldies or house music, different things like that. So all of that will be included with the event registration. When you register for the event, you will get the headphones when you come in. As you can see there, you can register at regforrec.org. We have 3 different activity codes depending on age. So adults is everyone 18 and over, and it's $15 for adults. Kids and teens is $10, and then for senior center members, it's $5. So this event came about as an intergenerational engagement event. We did it last year, and it was a lot of fun. We had all different types we have little kids, we had parents, we had adults, we had seniors. So it was a really, really fun event. We had a food truck that was there, actually a dessert truck, a Kona Ice was there. We're still working on potential food trucks for this event, but last year we had the Kona Ice that came out. We had activities outside like cornhole and Jenga, and then obviously the dancing, and we also had some arts and craft activities. So there's a lot of different activities to do, not just the dancing. There's a whole bunch of other things that you can participate in while you're there between the hours of 6:30 and 8:30. So we're really looking forward to this. We're excited about the Barbie theme. We encourage people to come in Barbie attire. With the popularity of the movie, we're kind of piggybacking off of that, and hopefully people, have things that they can come. Obviously, it's not mandatory; it isn't required, but it's definitely recommended. And other than that, we are really looking forward to it. June 21st, and pre-registration is required. But other than that, does anybody have any specific questions about this event?
Okay, we can open up the questions to the team commissioners. Do you have any questions? Okay, so I have a couple actually. So
Sure.
starting, can you switch the genre of music that you're listening to midway through the event?
Yes, you will have that ability on the headphones themselves to kind of click which station you want to go to. Yeah. So yeah, you're
Okay.
not stuck on one station. You can toggle between the 3.
Okay, cool. And then also, what was like the turnout last year around? How many people did you guys have?
Yeah, no, good question. I think in total between kids, parents, and everybody there, we had, I think, about 50 people that were there throughout the whole event. Or registered, yeah. And sometimes, so it's really for kids 3 and up. So we actually had a few kids under 3 that weren't registered, but they were obviously there. So we didn't
Yeah.
necessarily count them in the total, but the total registered between the kids and adults and seniors was about 50.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any comments from the commissioners? Okay, and then do we have any comments from the public? Okay, great. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Of course.
Okay, next on the agenda is presentation on techie teens. And the recommended action is to receive a presentation on techie teens from Recreation Manager Alex Clear.
Yes, so this is a very exciting volunteer opportunity for teens. Just to let you all know, the application process is closed. We already recruited and interviewed and chose 4 different teens to be a part of our Techie Teens program for this year. But we plan to do it every year. Typically, applications are sent out or publicized in March. And they are due, if you look at the flyer, sometime at the mid to end of April is when applications are due. And then interviews will start soon after the application deadline closes. And the program itself starts in the summer. So if you look at the flyer, the program length is every Wednesday and every Friday from 2:30 to 4:30 from June 12th till August 9th. So it's a really great opportunity, not only to get volunteer hours, but also to give back to the community, specifically the seniors, and give them, tech support that they may not be able to get in their everyday lives. So, and it's a great way for intergenerational engagement, having teens teaching seniors, especially something that teens know so much about, which is technology. So it's a really, really great program, not only for college applications and different things like that, and volunteer hours to, if that's a requirement if you're a senior and you need a certain number of volunteer hours, it's a great opportunity for that. And then, like I said, also for college applications, it's a really good boost for that as well. But overall, it's just a really great program that we're lucky to be able to provide. The seniors really get a lot out of it as well. They enjoy learning from youth, especially because they look at youth as experts in technology, which I agree with. And so it's they get a lot of benefit from it as well. And I believe our teens get a lot out of it as well, outside of just the volunteer hours. So like I said, there is an application process and an interview process. And then as a volunteer, you do need to be fingerprinted as well, just like all our volunteers do. So you're an official volunteer for the city of Cupertino. This program also, there is a small fee of $20 if you are chosen as a volunteer, which covers a t-shirt as well as program supplies. So you will get an official t-shirt as well for being a part of the Techie Teen program. And then the money also helps with different supplies that are necessary for the program to run. But yeah, other than that, and again, it's for teens, so ages 14 to 18. So even if you're 18, you still qualify for this program. 19 is past that requirement, even though that is a teen. We want to keep it between 14 and 18. And yeah, so this is another great program. Again, it's already over for right now. But if you're interested, look out for this application and this flyer next March. Any questions on our Techie Teens program?
Yeah, do you have any questions for the commissioners? Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, like, how long has this program been run?
That's a good question. From my knowledge, quite a while. I know Amanda, who's our coordinator here at the Senior Center, she started this program a while before COVID. And I think this might be the first year since COVID that we've brought it back. But pre-COVID, it was a very popular program. And this, I believe this is the first summer that it's back since we've come out of the pandemic.
So is the shift system like you choose which shifts you'd like to attend, or is it like once you get accepted, then you attend all of the shifts throughout the summer?
So I believe there's a total of 4 volunteers, and I think they split them up between Wednesday and Friday. So you either are Wednesday, there's 2 volunteers Wednesday and there's 2 volunteers Friday. So it's really about your preference, I believe, as far as the volunteers, but all 4 of the teens are not there on the one day. It's broken up 2 and 2. So you would only need to commit to one of those days.
Okay,
But ideally you would commit every week.
Okay, yeah. And then also one more question. Around how many students applied this year?
Good. I know we had over 10. I think the last number I heard was 11 applicants.
Okay,
So yeah, a pretty good turn. We were very, very pleased with the amount of applications that we received. It was a difficult selection process. I know that for sure.
and do we have any comments from the commissioners? Or actually a question from the commissioners?
Yeah, so I was wondering, since this ends on August 9th, are there plans to have this go into the school year, probably like at a later time for students that have school?
Yeah, I don't, from my understanding, this program is typically ran during the summer just because it fits a lot better with teen schedule. It's pretty difficult to offer this during the school year because we close at 5 and we wouldn't really be able to fit much in there if we started the program. And typically school gets out at 3:30. By the time the students get over here, it's 4 o'clock. And that 4 to 5 hour typically doesn't work well with our seniors because that's typically when they're going home for the day. And then obviously we close at 5. So it's really only a summer program given everyone's schedule.
Okay.
But we do have a lot of volunteer opportunities throughout the year. It may be more of a one-time thing as opposed to this, which is consistent. But we are always looking for volunteers for specific events and different things like that. If you are available, always please reach out to us and let us know you're interested in volunteering. And if your schedule lines up with our schedule, we'd be happy to come and if we have work or a job for you to do, we can always use extra help. It's just difficult during the school year. Students are always really busy. Our hours are 8 to 5. And we don't really do much on the weekends, which is a lot of the time when the teens like yourselves want to volunteer is on a weekend. But we don't really have a lot of programs on the weekend here at the senior center specifically. But if you're ever interested, don't hesitate to reach out. If we have a job for you or if we have an event or a program, we definitely will let you know, and we would definitely be able to use your help.
All right, sounds good.
Any comments from the commissioners? And any comments from the public? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully we see you at Disco at Dusk. Have a good night.
Okay, moving on to the next thing on the agenda, which is a presentation on youth-led organization prepzone.ai, and the recommended action is to receive the presentation on youth-led organization PrepZone AI from Nihir Gupta.
So this is just something I've been working on for over a year. So basically what I did with PrepZone is I tried to relieve test anxiety from students. The issue that I noticed myself is I wasn't able to quickly review materials. That is what PrepZone AI is trying to target. So the problem is that when I was studying for tests, I wasn't able to quickly review the material. I would spend maybe an hour reviewing my history textbook, and I still wasn't able to get any new knowledge from it. I was just reviewing the same material and hoping for outcomes. So that was like the main problem. I was able to find my knowledge gaps. Yeah, so the problem that I'm addressing is test anxiety. Test anxiety stems from 3 factors. You have too much to study, you don't know where your knowledge gaps are, and you don't have enough time to study. And this all leads to like a sort of inefficient study process where you're just reviewing the same material over and over again. So here are just some statistics about test anxiety. It affects around 35% of US students. 9 out of 10 academically challenged students said that they report poor grades due to test anxiety. And shockingly, 17.2% of high schoolers have reported considering suicide due to test anxiety. So the solution Prep Zone, what it does is it processes your own study material. So things like Khan Academy, they do it off of their own study material, but Prep Zone will do it off of your own study material, and it'll generate a quiz, a summary, and like a list of key terms. This all lets you review your material quickly and find your knowledge gaps. And this is all done using, I don't know why it's messed up, but this is all done using GPT-4. I think a lot of you know about it. It's in ChatGPT.
Fine.
Yeah, next slide. Yeah, I just want to skip this slide. So here's just an example using my history textbook. The site is pretty bare bones. I haven't made it look like professional yet, but the functionality is all there. So on the top right, you can see the quiz that was generated from the textbook, then the summary and the key terms. But the the PDF that you upload needs to have text in it. It can't be like images, so that I can actually process the document. And another note is that it's completely free right now for students to use. If you want to use it, it's completely free. I think that's all. So right now I have around, I think 100 kids from my school, mostly friends, using it. So that's just basically what I wanted to show you.
Okay, great. Do we have any questions from the commissioners? Go ahead.
So you just input like a PDF and you like upload a PDF onto the thing. Is there like a word or page limit or something?
So there is like a token limit for GPT-4, but what I've done is I just find the page where the token limit sort of cuts it off, and then I just start processing the documents from that page. So let's say the 10th page is the cutoff. I'll process the first 10 pages, then I'll process the next 10 pages. And then I'm able to just like have a list of like 10-page documents for you to review.
Is this like an app or a web page?
It's a web page. It's at prepzone.ai.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you like seen any issues of like hallucinations or like it generating information that isn't real? Because when I've used ChatGPT for things like this, I've sometimes like seen stuff.
So what I've done is that I've just fine-tuned the model so it doesn't do that. I haven't noticed it. Maybe it has happened, but I haven't noticed anything like that.
Yeah, I have a couple questions too. So you talked about how this is free. Are you planning to like just keep it free forever, or is it like, do you want to profit off of it?
I'm not too sure. I think
Oh.
if it reaches like too many users, then I'll start making people like just pay for what they're using. But for now it's free because it just costs me maybe like 10-20 bucks a month.
Yeah. And do you like have anyone else you work with on this, or is it just like?
Yeah, I had a partner, he couldn't come.
Oh, okay.
I'll be able to ask.
Okay, okay. And then also like this looks a lot like taking a textbook and translating it. Is there any way that you have already or make this to like help with math and stuff too, or?
Yes, I was actually thinking about math. The thing with math is you don't learn from like memorizing material, you learn from doing problems.
Yeah.
So instead, what you could do with math is you could take in a math textbook and then find relevant problems to the subjects that you're trying to learn. I used something similar for my AMC and
Yeah.
me studying. So I just had a topic and then I just found relevant problems that can all be automated through AI.
Yes. Sorry, one more question. Like, let's say, I have like a physical textbook and I want to use it like for this though. So you said like images won't work, so then do I just have to like change the image into a PDF or?
So there is a way that I can make images work.
Yes.
Since OpenAI just updated the model so that it can take images.
Yes.
There is a way that I could make images work. It would just be more work and I just haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For students taking like language classes, has there any been like ideas like making it like different languages besides English?
I think GPT-4 works with all languages already.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
when you have a textbook, sometimes there's like text, there's like images that have captions.
And then there's like maybe a section at the end of the book that's like check your understanding, like different types of writing in a textbook. Like how does it distinguish?
It can't distinguish between those like without the AI being there, but I'm pretty sure like the AI is able to distinguish between them. If there's a bunch of questions, then I think it'll be able to figure out this is the section where it's just quizzing the student. If there's like a sentence that just seems out of place, it'll probably be a caption, things like that.
Go ahead.
Well, just where the functionality is like right now currently, or is there an option to have like a practice quiz? It gives you like 10 or 15 questions.
Yeah, so the functionality is if you visit the site, then you can just upload a document and then it'll give you everything back.
Okay, so you have like options for like multiple choice questions or
Oh, well, I haven't done free response yet. Free response, the only problem with free response is the time it takes to actually process your answer is like a minute. So it's just really inconvenient for free response.
yeah.
Yeah, and then one more question. Like, so you're saying a lot about like using the AI and stuff. So just out of curiosity, like, why would I choose to use your thing over just like ChatGPT?
So I actually use ChatGPT. The only thing is it can't quiz you. It can't give you like a multiple choice interface.
Oh, yeah.
And also then every time I was using ChatGPT to study for history before I made this, I would just have to make the prompt every single time. And it just took more time, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Do we have any comments from the commissioners? I have one actually. So I know you already said that like you haven't like made it aesthetically pleasing yet, but I would just say that if I like saw this like the night before my test, I think it would stress me out because it's just like a lot of words. So I would just suggest that whenever you do get the time, like making it a little like easier on the eye so it wouldn't seem as stressful, but yeah. And do we have any comments from the public? Okay. Oh, yeah, or
We might have already thought of this, but like, this is pretty, it's like spammable at hackathons if you wanted funding. Like
But yeah, sorry.
at hackathons, if you
Uh-huh.
wanted to submit this, like you could probably do it for multiple different hackathons. If you wanted funding, you should like try that route.
Yeah, I submitted to a couple of competitions.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
okay. Thank you for your presentation. Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes. The subject is to approve the minutes from March 13th, 2024, and the recommended action is to review and approve the minutes from the teen commission meeting on March 13th, 2024. So we'll give until like for 3 minutes, 6:29. We'll
You don't have.
Okay, has everyone had time to read it over? Okay, great. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, great. All those in favor of approving the minutes of March 2024? All those opposed? Great. Okay, moving on, we have no postponements and have any oral communications? No, okay, no oral communications, no written communications, and no old business. So moving on to new business. The first subject is a presentation on the Teen Resource Fair, and the recommended action is to receive a presentation and provide feedback on Teen Resource Fair from Recreation Manager Sonia Lee.
Hello, commissioners.
Hi, Alvin.
Right, so our agenda on this item is to discuss the 2024 Teen Resource Fair that many of you attended. And give some feedback on that 24 Resource Fair. And then also to look to the future and get some feedback from each of you on the 2025 Teen Resource Fair. So I just want to start with going over the Teen Resource Fair. It was very successful. I know many of you attended, so you saw it in person, but our team coordinator, Robert Kaufman, established a partnership with the Interdistrict Council, and they had a lot of resources for mental health, resources for teens, but not a lot of know-how on putting together an event or having these supplies or having a location. So it was a great partnership because we were looking for an opportunity to get more resources out to teens. And we have another resource is that we have summer jobs. So we were looking for teens to apply to our summer jobs. And we used to do a separate part-time summer job fair here at Quinlan. But we saw just like a natural shift to combine the events and to expand what's available for teens. The new partnership as well was with Main Street Cupertino. So we changed to kind of a more fun, cool vibe venue. And so this was year one of the Teen Resource Fair. So on the one hand, we had mental health resource vendors. And then on the other hand, we had most of our full-time staff that had positions available for the summer there to talk about the jobs, and they were available for people to talk to. So it was a really great day. We saw a lot of participation. Hard to say throughout the day exactly how many, but I'd say at least a few hundred that kind of came through, and we saw a lot of great results in our applications. Much better than last year. We had not a lot of applications that came in after our individual resource fair, or not, sorry, job fair for the summer. And this year we got a lot of applicants after. So very successful for us in that way. And I just wanted to see if I could get some feedback from those of you who were there. If you could give some feedback on how you thought it went, and if you saw any big areas for improvement, then I could get that feedback from you.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that it was like a really good event and we were able to incorporate a lot of like youth organization. But I think one thing that a lot of people were excited about when they hear Teen Resource Fair is probably like the volunteer opportunities maybe outside of the city as well. So I know that we like just got started this year and it was like a really good start. But I think also because the city jobs are a really big commitment and some students might not want to commit to that like all summer long, then we could have like other opportunities such as like tutoring or like other kinds of smaller jobs from outside companies or organizations who want teen help. So I think one way that we could expand for next year could be like expanding opportunities outside of just the city. Go ahead.
Personally, I thought that event was like also really successful, and I heard a lot of positive feedback from like the passport stamps because like it kind of motivated a lot of people to go to each booth and then receive the prize afterwards. One thing that I heard from a few of my friends who went was that they felt like, oh, like since they went to each booth, a lot of the booths and the job opportunities that they presented had an age requirement that was like 17 or 18, and like a majority of the booths were like that. And I think maybe next year if we could expand it to like, I guess, like without an age limit like that, or like a lower age limit, so it like kind of attracts more like high schoolers that way.
Yeah, I actually agree with what she said, because like when we think teen resource fair, we think like maybe 16, 15, not really like 18, because that's like when at that point you could probably get like other jobs too, not just like volunteer opportunities. So I would agree with that. And then also having like paid jobs there, which would obviously be like we'd have to get like businesses and stuff that are open for hiring and things. But I think the way we could do that was like a partnership with Main Street itself, like the shops or the businesses in that place specifically, if they are hiring, like just not even getting, just having their flyers out or something, because I think it would make it a lot more like exciting if people could make money or like find jobs where they can make money from this too, and not just like volunteering. Do you have any other comments or feedback? Okay.
I guess you talk about including Main Street, and I think there are a lot of kind of like food stores around Main Street where people might want to go and stop by to get a snack. And so maybe we could incorporate that into the resource fair as well, because I think that would draw more people.
Yeah, like I think overall, I just wanna, like, I think overall, if we like slightly expand it would be helpful. But I think that the amount of people that showed up, I mean, you can't complain about like the location and stuff. It was great. It was a successful event, but.
Yeah, like something good is like, I think the place, the location was very well chosen, and I feel like we all kind of agree with that. That like Main Street, since it's a really close to a lot of people, and it's also like there's so much around that you could like go get boba after or something. But then also like I'm trying to think of other places we could do, because we wouldn't want it to be at Main Street every year, and if we're thinking of expanding that one grass area, I feel like it wouldn't really cut it. So like this is kind of more to you guys, but like, do you guys have any suggestions of which places might be able to be good?
I think in front of the library, that's like another place where a bunch of teens go, because Main Street, I think, is like for kids who go to Tino, it's really important, but I think for other students, it might be a little bit far, Main Street for them. So I think that Cupertino Library is a place where like people from all across the district go a little more often than just Main Street. And it's like a bigger space with like a whole like grassy area in front of like the Civic Center.
Any other ideas? And then.
I have a question for you on clarifying that. So the Main Street has another grass area, but you have to kind of walk through the middle of those buildings. Do you feel like that could be a possibility if it was at Main Street to like expand the fair to that back field?
Wait, I don't know which backfield you're talking about.
So you'd have to really.
I feel like, cause I, again, I go to Tino, so like I've been there a couple times, but I think like one,
Parking
if
lot?
you don't really know the place, like it might be a little confusing to get to. And also, I think it was really cool having the resource fair in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
I don't really know, it didn't bring that much, I don't know why, but it just felt nice having everything surrounding it. And I feel like if we do like go to the side, we might as well just like go to a park. So I think it wouldn't be ideal.
Got it.
I mean, I guess a park would work, but then again, it's like a park's really based on like your location.
Yeah.
And it would be on a park that's close. Some high school isn't for others.
Yes.
Yeah, and do we have any comments from the public about this? Okay, yeah, and then. Yeah. About 2025.
Yeah, so actually, we jumped the gun on asking.
No,
about
yeah.
comments, sorry. So you sort of have already gone on to the next, because by giving feedback on 2024, you're already sort of looking to 2025. So we talked about potential other locations, and that's, certainly the sky's the limit. And I think maybe the other place that I would love to have a little feedback from you is in regards to what is offered. And I know you talked about like outside jobs. We did have paid jobs at the 2024. We had our summer paid jobs and volunteer opportunities. And you talked about having outside jobs. Do you see any other like resources, like mental health resources or like free resources available for teens? Or is there another topic area that you would see like would be beneficial to bring a group of people to have some kind of resource for teens that's not a job and not mental health resources? Like student organizations.
You'll get a lot of student organizations to follow.
Yeah.
Like we saw at Earth Day.
Yeah.
I think also like you know how like YAB does the tutoring thing before finals? Like if they did that also, obviously not the same thing, but like having a tutoring program all year round, I definitely know that that would like help some people, and I think that the teen resource fair would be a good place to publicize it.
Okay. Perfect.
Moving on to the next subject, which is to review recent speaking opportunities for teen commissioners. And the recommended action is to review and provide feedback on recent speaking opportunities for teen commissioners.
Okay, that's me again. I know we usually, because most of you get rides home, we're at 20 minutes to 7 and we probably will finish up right around 7 is my estimate. So, we'll need to test when we do that. Okay, so recent opportunities for our commission. One of the things that we've really tried to do with the teen commission is to clarify the role that you're playing with the city of Cupertino. Because we have the youth activity board and they are in charge of running activities with the teen coordinator. And that your role is more advisory. And then we also really try to get you out at our events and have you out there being kind of a figurehead, an MC, a figurehead, being involved in the events. So in this last year, we had several opportunities that we've had you out. This is kind of the latest. The Teen Resource Fair, Gen Connect, Big Bunny 5K, Hack Cupertino, and the Earth and Arbor Day Festival. And so just wanted to go through how it went. And I know it's a subgroup of each of you for each event, but our Teen Resource Fair, if maybe you could raise your hand if you were at the Teen Resource Fair, just so I have an idea. So almost everybody. Okay, so I sort of know how that one went because you gave me a lot of feedback, but as far as your role at the Teen Resource Fair and speaking to people, how do you feel that that went? A little feedback. And one thing that the teen coordinator, Robert Kaufman and I talked about is it really set the tone for us to understand that like we need to establish like when you come to an event and you're representing the city, that we should have things kind of set for you, that you wear your name tag or you wear a certain set of attire, so that we have some kind of standard for the teen commission. So we recognize like that would be good. That would be good for us to establish that as we go forward with having you out there more. But beyond that, like, how did the day go as far as just connecting with people at the fair? Any feedback on that one?
I feel like a lot of people visited the booth, like a lot of like almost preteens almost, like they're thinking about joining the teen commission. And I think we had a lot of people come over, like to the point where I think we ran out of flyers after the first hour or so. And then I think mainly the biggest thing for me was that we had a lot of questions or like a little bit of confusion about the difference between teen commission and YAB, especially since we shared like the same table and area. It was like a little hard to distinguish, and like I know a lot of parents and like students alike were like asking about the difference between each of them, but after like some clarity, it was like things got better.
Did you feel that you were able to speak to that
Yeah.
well now?
Yeah.
Good.
Go ahead.
or, yeah, go.
Sure, I wanted to add on like, yeah, I came like, I think. There was like, what, it was broken into 30-minute. Shifts, and I was on the second one, if I'm not wrong, so like, when I came, the flyers were already out, but so it was a little hard to explain. Then I was like, still getting the hang of it, but yeah. In terms of interacting with people though, it's fine, like, just keep it how it is, I was able to speak to people, and I think had like, what, 2 to 3 commissioners there, I think it was a perfect amount. Yeah, so still keep it at that. Yeah.
Great. I'll keep us maybe, I don't think we actually ended up having any representation at Gen Connect. Am I incorrect about that? Nobody was at Gen Connect this, no, we did the year before. Okay. Big Benny 5K. Have to give some major kudos. Shavika and Nika were our dynamic duo. And that this was the first year that we had team commission. They were co-MCs for the event, and it's a lot. We had probably close to 800 people that were actually signed up, but at the event, well over 1,000 people. So it's a big event. It's definitely high profile. And they did awesome. So kudos to very much represented well for the commission. And I had a lot of comments from people after that found out that you were team commissioners. One thing I learned is to make sure that we highlight that you are team commissioners as the MCs during the day as part of the script. But the people that spoke to me after and found out that you were team commissioners were so impressed. And it was a great showing. And a lot of people actually thought that you worked for the company and that was like your job. So that's a pretty great compliment. So that's something that I think that we definitely want to continue to have team commission represent there. Hack. I wasn't at Hack. Who was anybody at Hack? Okay. How did that go?
You go first.
Yeah, I think it went well. I think the event went well as a whole. So like I judged, so I came here in the morning, but I talked to like some of the participants, and I think in general, like everyone like liked what happened. In terms of judging, I hope that we can have like a team commissioner judge in the future too. I think it was a good thing. One, from like the judging perspective, I think having like a team's perspective is helpful. Like I think like we kind of do things differently than like we have different perspectives on like the products, and then like also just like hackathons in general. Like there are different experiences there, so I think it was nice to like see both perspectives, and I think it's good to have that there. Yeah, so I think it ran smoothly in general. I'm happy with the event.
Good.
So I was a volunteer there. When I first came, thing me and Robert were talking about was that there should have been more like volunteers there. There's me and someone else, and like from volunteering, like through the experience, it seemed like it was under control with just us two. But like the volunteer kind of promotion, the turnout could have been, a couple more people. That would have made sure people were like encouraged to ask questions and everything. I was there from like 9 to 1 or 2. So after that, at that point, like the people started working a little bit less, but like there wasn't really anyone because we both left for mentoring, and just people from YAB had to help. So that probably put more work on like what they were already doing for the event. So yeah, my only feedback is just to get more volunteers. But it went well. The people had questions, got their questions answered, and had a good time.
Were you volunteering as a mentor? Is
Yeah.
that your role? Okay. Great. Thank you for that feedback. And then Earth and Arbor Day Festival. Peter, I think you were one and only. How did that go?
It was good. The first thing was like, okay, I was a little new to NCA, right? So being able to like kind of make that impromptu and stuff was a little new to me, but otherwise it was fine. Like, yeah, just like if we got maybe like more MCs to do it. I mean, Ursula was ended up co-emceeing, so that ended up working okay. But we having like 2 to 3 more team commissioners probably would have made it better, and you could just split the MCA because it was like a very long event. Okay. ended up being about 4 hours. So that was probably my only feedback. Otherwise, it was fine. Like I even had time to chill. I even got to visit some of the booths. I got a Santa Clara like Valley water brand. But yeah.
Great. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the end of my agenda item. Thank you.
Okay, great. Do we have any comments from the public about this?
I have a question.
Um,
Unfortunately, we can't
Okay.
accept questions. Do you have a comment or?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, moving on to the last subject, and it's the team commission summer meeting schedule. And the recommended action is to discuss summer meeting schedule and availability of commissioners to attend meetings. So.
Again. So we do like to review, last meeting, we did cancel for lack of agenda items, which actually kind of helped to make this a meeting that we had more items to cover. But looking at the summer meeting, we usually do hold our June meeting, and there's plans to hold a June meeting, but I do like to check in with you as commissioners to see if right off the bat, many of you know that you wouldn't be here for the second Wednesday. And then, let's see, if you have the dates. So they would be June 10th, June 12th, July 10th, and August 14th are the last three potential team commission dates for this current term. And so June 12th will probably hold unless I see that a majority of you already know that we'd be able to make it. July 10th, I will say July meeting traditionally has not, we wouldn't get a quorum because we usually have too many people that are out of town. So my suggestion would be that we would probably not hold it, but let's check in. And then August 14th, what we usually will do is it will be a wrap up meeting. We'll say goodbye to our second term commissioners. And we last year went out to Blackberry Farm and did a walk there. So we're actually, it was kind of nice. It was to get you out and see something new. But that turned out to be a great venue and it was kind of a nice walk. So maybe we'll look at doing that again. So if I could just June 12th, if I can look and see, does anybody know right now they wouldn't be able to make June 12th?
Oh, not me.
Not make. Okay, so 3, so that does get us close on having a quorum. Okay, okay, and then how about July 10th? If you already know that you cannot make it. If you think you probably can't, then raise your hand. Is that a hand raised?
No.
Okay, so 3 there. Okay. And then August 14th. No, that's way out in the future. Okay. Okay, all right, so I think we'll for sure plan on June 10th or June 12th, I'm sorry. As long as we have agenda items, and then I think what we'll do is we'll check back in on July 10th. It seems like it has a fighting chance. And then August 14th, if you can plan, that is kind of the last opportunity for this commission to be together, so it's a good one to be at. We'll try to do something a little different and a little fun.
Okay, great. Moving on, we have no staff report or commission reports. No future. Oh,
Put that on you.
we do have a staff report.
Yes, sorry about that. So I have one staff more announcement, even though Robert Kaufman is not here. He does have one last YAB event of the year, the school year, and it's going to be the Splash Bash. I'll just read you the marketing information. Get ready to make a splash at the Cupertino Splash Bash. This free teen event will be held at Memorial Park, which is here where Quinlan is, on September 25th. Saturday, May 25th. Really blowing it today, tired. From 2 to 5. Join the Cupertino Parks and Recreation Department and Youth Activity Board for an afternoon of epic water fun featuring water balloons, water guns, and more. The first 100 attendees will receive free Kona ice. Snacks and beverages will be provided. Bring your friends to dive into summer, and there's a registration link. So we do usually have teens register for those events so that we have an idea of who's coming. That was my only stack.
Okay, great. We have no future agenda settings, so I adjourn this meeting at 5:53.